thanks, Molly, for stopping by our Beyond Real Estate podcast here. So, and also thank you for all, your support, not only from me, for my business, for our team. So for those who don't know, who's watching this for the first time, like, who is she? Who's Molly? Can you introduce to our guests?
Well, hello, everyone. I am Molly Levine with MyNHD, Natural Hazard Disclosure. Antonio and I have been working together for a few years now, and I love being a part of his team. So natural hazard disclosure is a required disclosure on almost every real estate transaction. So I'm happy to provide those for him on his transactions.
Well, we're happy that you provide that for our sellers. So I've been asking everybody here, a lot of my preferred partners here. I mean, what are you seeing right now? You visit a lot of real estate offices. I'm assuming I know you talk to other realtors. Don't worry. Won't get jealous, but I know you speak to other realtors because you have to. But what are you seeing out there right now in the market? I know you've been in real estate too for years, so you kind of, been seeing a lot of multiple different types of markets. What are you seeing out there or hearing?
I am seeing and hearing a shift in momentum where I feel like some people aren't going for it right now. They're just sort of waiting for it to come to them.
Sure.
I don't see that with
the rates to go down. Right?
I don't see that with you. I don't see that with your team. I feel like every time the market pivots, you are ready and you have a strategy and you motivate your team to go for it. So there's no shift in momentum at AVM for sure.
Of course not. No. If anything, we're full throttle, right?
Hitting it harder.
Harder.
Yep.
Yeah. So. NHD. Anything interesting we should know about NHD? What's the craziest thing you've seen about NHD or
I don't know that there's one crazy thing, but I think the biggest thing right now is the fire zones.
Yeah.
The maps just got updated. They're going to be official here in just a few weeks. And people have a lot of questions about it. I think it's really important to know your NHD rep and know that you can, like for me, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help you or your team. But right now the fire zones are changing. They're growing. And the reason that it's really, really important in a transaction to know your zones is because it has a huge impact on insurance.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so almost everything that's in a high fire zone is going to have an insurance implication, and it's super, super important when you're looking at property to get that insurance quote like right away for that reason. So all of a sudden people are talking about NHD for the first time in a little while. So yeah.
I mean, of course, we're filming here in Temecula. I live in Temecula myself. I mean, we see the fires almost daily. There's some fire going on around here, right? And I think there was another fire last week, and before that there was another one right there by was that Cahuilla or by the so there's so much fire. So how often do they update? So let's say there's a fire now. Do they update how often do they check on those zonings or whatever?
That's a good question. So it is a really big process. CAL FIRE redraws the maps. So they went a really long time without redrawing them. They redrew them last year and they're redrawing them again this year. So I do anticipate it's going to be a more frequent thing, but it's a really pretty big process. So CAL FIRE draws up their maps. They submit them to the local municipalities. They have a 120-day review period where they can add on to the fire zones, and then the fire maps become official. There's a little more to it than that, but that's more or less how it works.
Okay.
So,
Interesting. Yeah. And this is what I shared to my team and my preferred partners. They're like I'm a very busy guy as well. I mean, we're out there talking to clients every day. So as you know, like our clients are gonna see the report. They're probably not gonna know. That's why it's important to have your preferred partners that can answer those questions, not only for me but also for my clients. So I mean, when clients talk, do you talk to clients as well?
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah.
Are they? What's some of the feedback? Are they like, whoa, what's
Most of the time, when I speak with a home buyer or seller and they have a question, I can clear it up almost immediately.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of understanding or the verbiage of what the database is called is sometimes a little intimidating for people. But once I explain what the database, any particular database means, all of a sudden their fears kind of dissipate. And I always tell people, look, I'm never going to tell you whether you should or should not proceed with the transaction based on the natural hazard disclosures. I'm just here to make it make sense to you. And just because something's in a particular zone doesn't mean it's not a good place to live.
Exactly.
So it's just really a matter of understanding.
And that's the key. And like I said, that's why even me as, you know, even though that I'm a broker, a lot of people might think you should know all this stuff. No, I shouldn't. That's why we have all these experts around me. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I want to talk about is NHD report that I don't have the knowledge that Molly here has, right? So that's why it's important to have your trusted business partners that know that you can rely on, so that if somebody asks me a question, I'm not just, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a salesman, I know how to wing it, but I don't need to wing it when you have people like Molly that can definitely answer, and just probably a 1-2 minute conversation eases the, the stress level for a client, right?
Yeah.
So Molly, tell us something interesting. So I know you've been doing this for a while. I know you were on vacation recently, right?
Yeah, I went to New York City and I went to the Virgin Islands. It was amazing. Both were amazing, totally different, obviously. But I love to travel. I love Pilates. I practice Pilates like 6 days a week on average.
Yes, I see all your videos, your stories.
Yeah.
Follow her. Make sure to follow her.
I just try to motivate other people to be active, because I think it's like the best thing you can do for yourself is just to be active and move your body.
How long have you been doing Pilates?
About 5 years.
I always thought about that because I always see, people do it. I don't know, like, do you see myself doing it?
You could totally do it. Yeah.
I always wanted to get hot yoga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good too. That's good too. Yeah.
But speaking of health, because that's very important, because I don't know if I shared this with you, I shared it with my team. A couple months ago, I remember I was eating sake sushi one day, and I was like telling my friends, like, oh yeah, I work out. I'm like, do you really work out? Don't just say you work out. Actually show it. Oh yeah, I post my stories, but then then I found out there's an app. This is how bad I am. On my LA Fitness, there's an app that you can actually check in. That actually keeps track of when you check in.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even realize that. I know I'm bad. I thought I was tech savvy, but then I looked at it. I went back to the previous month and every month of last year, and I was like, I don't work out. I was like, I thought I worked out, but I didn't. I was like, I only worked out 3 times that month. So long story short, after that, it kind of kept me my accountability, because then every day I would share it to my friend, like, here, you look at, check in, right? So now I've actually, since I think it was April 16th, I remember the date, because now it's been two months. I haven't gone 2 days without going to the gym.
Good for you. So, that's amazing.
Yeah, I go to the gym probably minimum 5 to 6 times a week.
That's great.
And knowing how stressful our life is, and I know my situation, my diet, I know our blood pressure, our cholesterol goes to a level. So it's important. Health is very important. So that's why I can appreciate what you're doing, because we know, just being active. So, anything else like Pilates you do? Do you like to jog, run, or?
I do bar also, which a lot of people think I mean bar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, bar. Let's go. Which bar?
Bar. But no, it's actually fitness that's based on some tenets of ballet.
Oh, okay.
So we do a lot of lunges, a lot of squats, things like that. For me, you might love it. Really? I love that too, actually.
I don't know if I want to be stretching, have my leg over my head. Like that. That's kind of weird. I could, but I
love that too. It's a lot of fun. So, and then I've got a family, and I've got golden retrievers, and so I'm very busy. Yeah.
So you got to
make time for you though.
You got time. Health before wealth. So so that's awesome. So, any last words, Molly? Anything you want to add, or any tips for anybody watching right now? Maybe watching this and trying to figure out, should I get into real estate? Should I stay in real estate?
I would say if you're thinking about getting into real estate, you need to really get to know your broker before you sign on with a company. If you need motivation, if you need accountability, Tony is your guy, because he is so good with motivation and so good with accountability, and he has systems and processes, and he's got everything all figured out. He's a great guy for that. But real estate is challenging. It's interesting. It's never the same twice. And it's really about who you align yourself with. Who you work with matters. So
that's awesome.
I think that's
on that note. I'm glad, like I shared with my other preferred partners, who you work with matters. That's why it's important that you partner up with people that you trust. Not just you trust, but have the knowledge, so that you can refer your clients and not have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's what's made my job as an agent, as a broker, knowing that my agents are in good hands, so that they don't have to like be bugging me in the middle of the night, like, did you ask Molly about that? Did you ask, you know, so it's definitely who you work with matters. It's not just in real estate, but the people around you is very important. So I appreciate Molly. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for all your support. Yeah. I'm excited for for more business together. I'm excited to see your growth in your business and for us to do a lot more business together.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Cheers.